All right, good evening. Welcome to the GunCraze stream. And my name is Tim Patterson. I'm the author of GunCraze. If you don't know what GunCraze is, it's a high action tactical role playing game set in the future from the year 2050 beyond. It is a D10 system using D6s for damage, uses hit locations, uses opposed rolling. And right now, we're currently working on shotgun talents, getting those refined and put into the book. So what I like to do is bring up my working document that you all can see. And with this working document, I will be approaching those talents as we go. I'll set up my page so that, unless it doesn't like me, then I won't set up my page. That being said, we'll get there. All right, we're going to open up a couple windows. All right, and now it works. It did work. Interesting. Right or left? It doesn't want to work. Okay, that's fine. We're going to go to the summary section with one page. So we'll get to those talents list, which is up here. And these are a massive list of shotgun talents for all the special ammunition. So shotguns are essentially your wizards of GunCraze, right? They have so many different abilities that they can use to help put status effects on the enemy. So very useful utility and also damaging, right? They have their punch. Shotguns, they can kill. There we go. How about that? I like it when it finally becomes like wants to help me out a little bit. Let's see if it does with this side. Oh my gosh, 2 in 1. Finally. All right. Just getting these set up. Like to have the preview on the right. It might be a little harder for you guys to see that, but I try to keep this left one a little bigger so that you all could still read it somewhat. All right. And then if I have to, I just go to the big page. All right. So what we're doing now is we're working our way down ammo. We just finished up the bola, special ammo bola. We have not gone beyond that. So shotguns 3 means you have to have 3 ranks in shotguns to pick up special ammo bola. And the cost for that talent is 2 talent points. And you have to spend it out of your ranged combat talent point pool. All right. In GunCraze, you're not going to level up in melee combat and suddenly. All right. Thanks, Marvins. Appreciate it. All right. That being said, we're not going to. You're not going to get level up in melee combat and suddenly gain more talents for ranged combat, right? What you level up in is where your talent points come to. So you're not going to be jumping across and I leveled up a level in this and in this one specialization, but I'm going to get abilities from the other. No, that's not going to happen. So when you rank up in one of your attributes for one of your specializations, your talent points come from that one. All right, and that's where these are spent. So talents are special feats or abilities that make your character better in a lot of different ways. So the more the talent points, the stronger the ability is. If it's like 1 talent point, it's like utility, all right? Like birdshot is kind of a utility talent. It's still useful. You can still buy it, and it will make you better at certain things, all right? They're not wasteful, or not wasted. They're not wasted. They're just inexpensive, all right? So, that being said, we already did the special ammo bola. We're going to go ahead and do the level 2 and level 3 versions of that. All right, so I know they are not going to sit on this page when they're done because they're going to have introductory paragraphs, and we'll be lucky to see 4 on a page. I usually, you get a little more to that. So special bola 2, all right. Special bola 2 needs shotguns 4, and obviously that Bola 1. So we're gonna, these are the requirements. All right, so SA Bola is a requirement. The cost for it is 3 talent points. All right, and now your bonus is going from +2 to +4 for range tripping attacks when firing the Bola rounds. Okay, so that is kind of a big deal. All right, so a normal Bola round is just a range tripping attack. If you take special ammo Bola, you'll get the +2 to that, and your special ammo Bola 2. So this is a shotgun shell that splits apart into a Bola to knock people down. All right. So that being said, special ammo Bola 2. All right, and we're gonna keep going. Special ammo Bola 3. Notice I just leave that introductory paragraph alone because I'm gonna go back and finish those when you guys aren't on stream, because that part is kind of boring. It's more about the rules I'm excited about to have you here for. So I want you to see the rules and kind of understand like how the game works. So if you're in the chat right now, I see we got a few viewers, go ahead and shoot a message in there, drop it in there, say, hey, how you doing? If you haven't dropped the follow yet, please do. And that being said, I will continue to work forward. So Bola 3 is the third and final version of Bola. All right, the requirements for it are shotguns rank 5 and obviously shotguns Bola 2, right? So you have to have that prerequisite. And it costs at a total of 4 talent points. That's an expensive one because this ability is actually pretty broken. I mean, a +6 bonus to range tripping attack, so a enemy running away, you're like, no, you're not. Bam, you hit him. Easy day. He falls to the ground and he's tripped and entangled. That's another thing I need to think about. So he's not only tripped, but he's bound, right? He's bound. All right. So, and that's one thing I have to probably add into here as well. I did not add that, but that's why we're here. We're here for doing creation, and that's why we want to see you guys have your 2 cents about something. So this Bola can trip you. All right, and the concept is you're going for the legs, okay? So there's a little bit probably more with the Bola, and it'll probably be tracked in the actual Bola ammunition. So let me go ahead and head down to the Bola ammunition in weapons. All right, so ammunition, shotgun. It appears I haven't even added that section yet, so that's great because we just added Bola the other night, which is great. We'll go ahead and add it now. Shotgun BOLA will go underneath this. It's a single entry. All right. So shotgun Bola ammo. All right. I will mark this off. So this is basically a string and 2 slugs, 2 like rubber slugs that expand out and they zip around each other to wrap around the opponent's feet. All right. The damage is gonna be none other than when you trip. All right. How many do you get in a package? Usually specialty ammo like this. All right. See, buckshot's 30, hollow point, but then when you get to certain rounds, there's just a package of 3. Okay, so the package of oh, got a little lost there. Hold on. Beanbag. Oh, there we go. All right, I don't know how I put it on top of the birdshot, but I'll fix that later. Not paying attention. All right, 3, 1 pound. The cost for these 3 Bola rounds, probably not cheap. We'll go 200 credits for that. So maybe that's a little expensive. We'll go 50 credits. All right. Our rarity rating for this is probably going to be as rare as any of the other type. We'll go with rare and make that a 7. All right. Concealment modifier. I really don't want to spend too much time here because what's happening is I'm going to come back here. I'm going to work on this. So I could potentially just make it red for now, the whole thing, and just move on. I don't want to eat too much time. I have my deadline for Chapter 3 Talents is the end of this March coming up. So if you're following along, we're going to be doing a lot of talents in the next coming weeks, all right? We've got a month to go through. Basically, we're not finished with range combat yet. We have to get into melee combat. Melee combat's got to get expanded out. Then we're going from melee combat to body. Body's got to get expanded out. Then we're going to quickness, and then we're done. So we have, like, we're looking at, like, we have to get through one a week almost to make the March deadline. Is it possible? We're going to put in a lot of weekend time off schedule and get that done. But we're excited. You know, the goal again is before Christmas this year to have a really fleshed out, beautiful rule book with art. All right. So the faster I can get these chapters done, the more I can just focus on adding art pieces, and those take me a long time to do up. All right. And that's just how that is. All right. So moving on back to where we were. All right, bowl of 3 adds that +6. All right, so those are all built up and in. I go ahead and make them black now. Oh, not high contrast only. Automatic, sorry. All right, and now we're going to get into our EMP rounds. Okay, EMP, what a great deal. All right, so EMP are going to be exceptional against robot enemies. All right, so your robots, your droids, all right, and your opponents might use them against any robot allies that you have, all right? So you can actually play a robot character in GunCraze, which plays a lot different than a normal character, all right? You don't just rank up and, oh, suddenly your armor is stronger. No, you actually have to beat the pieces, you know, find pieces of equipment and enhance yourself. So that's how robots are going to work. They're going to be kind of a challenging to play. Gunmaster's position permission only. All right, so so the MP starts out with a simple rank 1. All right, and let's see here. So what you're going to do is this one's going to add when firing EMP rounds. Let's see here. See, I can use the same thing. Adds 1d6 damage to EMP round attacks with EMP rounds. Additionally, any time anytime the target is deactivated, they are the duration is increased to D3 plus 1 character turns. All right, so that's how EMP is going to work. You're going to hit that. You're going to hit that rope, that whether it's electronic droid, your opponent's electronics. You can hit a normal character with it. It'll shut down his personal electronics. But he's going to have to, it's going to be for D3 plus 1 turns as it fixes itself, as it gets itself reset. All right. So that's EMP. That was, again, that's going to be looking at EMP. It was shotguns 1. Cost is 2 talent points again, so that's right on. Now we're going to go down to EMP2. All right. Now the requirement for this one is shotguns 3, and obviously special ammo EMP. All right, and then it's going to cost 3 talent points, so it's because it's a little better. All right, because it's going to add 2d6 damage to attacks with EMP rounds, and it's going to add, that duration is going to be increased to D3 plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to add that special ammo EMP3 now. Again, this having this many in a row is unlikely. It could happen, but I don't see it happening. because those introductory paragraphs kind of explain a little bit, lead a little bit into the world. So you want to make sure that they have something good going on for them, right? So the shotgun's MP3. All right, it's going to be rank, let's see what, 5? Rank 5 requirement. All right, and you'll need that special ammunition EMP2 as a requirement. It's going to cost 4 talent points. All right, and it's going to add a whopping 3d6 damage to attacks with EMP rounds, and your durations are going to be increased up to 3d3 or d3 plus 3 character turns. So that is massive when you're trying to deactivate somebody's equipment. Again, you as the shotgun user, you're the wizard of your thing. All right. So that being said, I never changed out my GunCraze shirt. So today we have an old shirt. All right. I was out here just working before y'all got here, and I didn't think to change over. Represent. No representing here. You can just look more at my ugly mug. All right, so those are kind of built in. We know we have to go back and get the introductory paragraphs. That's fine. All right, we're going to be moving on to special ammo flashbang. So these are shotgun rounds that explode like a flashbang when they fire. All right, so anybody in front of you is just going to take this loud flash and noise in the face, just like as if a flashbang grenade went off right in front of them. So that being said, let's write this one in. That space there. All right, introductory. We got flashbang has a requirement of shotguns too. All right, and it won't have obviously any other requirement. Flashbang is 246, so it's going to be 2, and then this is going to be 2 as well. 2 talent points, and special flashbang. Let's see, increases the target number for, all right, so let's talk about what a flashbang does. We'll go back down to the ammunition, and what I'll do is copy just some of this. So again, you want the terminology to be similar. All right, characters within 25 degrees of the attacker's firing arc must succeed a toughness test against a target number 8. All right, so this is kind of the concept. We'll go ahead and pull this back. All right, drop it in here. All right, so the toughness test for flashbang round attacks is increased to a target number of 10. All right. And also it's going to be and the duration of blinded, deafened, and stunned is increased to D3 plus 1 rounds. All right. You take this part out because that's going to be in the rules, and what I could do is period, drop an additionally in there because, hey, additionally. All right, and now we're going to move on. We're going to go ahead and drop in that flashbang 2 now. Shotguns rank 4, or rank 4 requirement. It's going to be 3 talent points because that's kind of the trend going on. And also we need that that requirement of flashbang. All right, this increases it to 12. So as you're ranking up, you buy these talents to make your character just even better. You know, oh yeah, your target number now to not be blinded, deafened, and stunned is increased to D3 plus 2 rounds. Like, that's heavy. Like, that is damaging. All right. I'll go ahead and drop 3 in here because I have room, even though it's gonna get bounced out when the introductory paragraphs come in. it's just going to get knocked out. All right. So special ammo flashbang 3. Requirements are obviously 6 now at this point, and flashbang 2 as a requirement. It's going to cost 4 talent points. All right. And the toughness test for flashbang round attacks is increased to a target number of 14. And the condition is D3 plus 3 rounds. All right. So, yeah, there's probably some commas that need to be put there. All right. So there's your flashbang. Go ahead and drop that in. Fix that. Now we're getting on to a really cool round. All right. So now we're talking about flechette rounds. Flechette rounds are all about making your target bleed. All right, so when they're going to do damage, they do damage, but they also, if they hit flesh, they make the target bleed, and that makes them drop stamina quick. They can bleed out and die fairly quick. And for minions, that's just a death sentence for them. Hold on a moment. I hate when I have more than one bottle of caffeine. I'll figure out what it is later. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and write those flechette rounds. I'll just steal this. All right, paste it in here. All right, so it's gonna be flechette. All right, requirements for flechette are shotguns. It's a 246 again. So shotguns 2, delete this section here. Cost for flechette is 345 due to its added punch. Bleeding is dangerous, so you have to charge a lot for people. So let's go ahead and bounce over again back to the ammunition. Take a look at that flechette round. All right, and flechette. So we're gonna grab this section here. Go back to our page. Special. All right, and I'm going to paste it over this. All right, so the +2 attack rolls isn't going to change, so I'm going to delete that out. All right, ignore your highest 2 dice when applying advantage dice and when dealing hit point. Okay. All right, and we're going to stop here. Anytime this round does hit point damage, it also inflicts the bleeding 2 condition on the target. All right, so that is an improvement. And how I should word that is, anytime this round does hit point damage, you know what? It just replaces the effect essentially. Now, I could say the bleeding condition. Let's see. Anytime this round does hit point damage, the bleeding condition is increased to bleeding 2. Let's see. Anytime it's around hit point damage, no, I like it just the way it was. Leave the same text. Decisions. All right. That's really it. It's a small explanation. So what is a flechette? It's like a bunch of mini darts flying right at you, and when they cut through your skin, they're razor sharp, and you just start to bleed. So you can get all kinds of bleeding wounds. All right, so flechette 2. All right, shotguns. It's going to be shotguns rank 4 for this. It's going to be 4 talent points, which again, that's expensive, but it's going to be worth it for people. All right, and then we'll go ahead and flechette 3 in. Shotgun 6. All right. Oh, I didn't put that. SA flechette. That's it. And this one's going to be 5 talent points. Massive. I mean, it's really good, though. It's really good. So that's just how that is. And maybe I will rewrite this so that it adds like an additional bleeding counter or token. That way, there might be like a special ability or a special weapon that you get, or has like enhanced flechettes, which automatically do 2. This would increase it to 3 and 4 and 5. So that's a really good train of thought too. All right, hit point damage also. So it'd be in. All right, I will highlight that and I'll get back to it offline. All right. So we'll know to fix that bleeding, and this is going to be bleeding 4, which is massive. Like, you definitely want to staunch your bleeding. If you get bleeding in GunCraze as a character, you want to staunch it as fast as you can, because you can lose a lot of blood very quick, and then knock out. And if you get knocked out, bad things will happen. All right. So we're going to go ahead and still make this black. We'll deal with it when we get around to it. All right, so hey, another ability, your high explosive rounds, okay? All right, these rounds are not even built down below. I'm gonna go ahead and add them. All right, so we're gonna go over there. I haven't decided how big the blast, but this might be the effect of fireball, okay? This might be your fireball effect for a shotgun user. Very expensive, high damage rounds. So if you've seen the movie Rambo First Blood Part 2, he had these ridiculous, awesome arrowheads that would, like, he would shoot it in the window of a building and the building would explode from like the inside somehow. Like, physics, laws of nature did not exist. This thing was so powerful, it just ruined the laws of nature. And this is the year 2050. Who knows? Maybe we find a material that's more explosive than what we've had. All right. All right. So that being said, did we copy that already? See if I'm shotgun flechette, flare ammo. Okay, there's the shotgun flare, shotgun HE. Okay, it's there. Cool. It's already there. We'll get it added. We'll add the stuff for it now that we know it's in there. EMP ammo, flare ammo. Okay, stuff to do. Stuff to do. All right. So coming back. So basically, this is what it does: is just increasing your damage. It's giving you advantage dice. Now, if you haven't heard what advantage dice are, if your weapon does 2d6 damage and you get an advantage dice, you would roll 3d6 damage and take the 2 highest, right? Because your weapon still does 2d6. So that's really important to do. All right. Moving on. We're going to go ahead and put in that high explosive. All right. So, help. Flechette and SA. All right. Flechette 2's in there now. All right. So, ranged combat. Shotguns for this high explosives are going to go 2, 4, 6, and they're expensive too. This is a 3, 4, 5 one. I mean, this is like this is a lot of points for melee combat, right? So, ranged combat. You're going to be all right. So, whenever you roll damage for SAHE rounds, add 2 advantage dice. Or, I mean, it says already. Gosh. Actually, we'll just leave it at that. I'm fine. I'll play around with it later. All right. Go get 2 in here. A high explosive 2. All right. So high explosive 2 says we're going to be at 4 TPs, 4 talent points. Again, it's more expensive. We're going to add 3 advantage dice. All right. And we also have that requirement of SA high explosive and all right, got the high explosive 2 for that. It's going to be 5 talent points, huge cost, but it's going to be adding apparently 4. Who came up with that? I guess I did. I'm crazy. I'm sorry, 2, 4, 6. Good Lord. So 2, 4 advantage dice, and 6 advantage dice when rolling damage with HE rounds. So that's a lot of damage. All right. I have considered to like restructure these things. I'm not going to do it this time. Probably, maybe in a future rule book. I'm going to leave these spread out. But you could. There is a case where you could say, okay, well, 1, 2, 3, leave it all under same header. But I'm going to leave it separate for now, and we'll see next iteration down the road. 10 years or so. Maybe not that long. All right. So SA incendiary. So now we're on our incendiary rounds. All right. We're moving, man. We're moving. It's 32 minutes in the stream. You got viewers. Hey, if you're on there and you haven't dropped a follow yet, please drop a follow, all right? We could really use it over here. Trying to get up to 47 tonight. If you can do that, that'd be great. Love the support. If you've already followed, thank you for doing so. All right. Moving on. So we've done high explosive 2 and 3. Now we're working with incendiary. These are basically fire, okay? And if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, look up Dragon's Breath Round on YouTube. It's a good time. All right. So these are going to be 135. The costs are going to be 234. Bring the cost down a little bit. So these are just going to be gouts of flame that you shoot out of the top of your rifle and trying to light everybody on fire, okay? Being on fire is not great because it forces you to waste some time patting it out, all right? And if you get enough fire on you, even worse things happen, okay? So at the very least, you have to spend some time putting out the fire, and if you don't, it just gets worse the next round, and within 10 seconds, you can be fully engulfed in flames and die instantly. That's later. All right. So special ammo incendiary. All right. So let's see if we even have that section down here. Flare ammo. Shotgun. Ebola. It's got a little broken apart when we incendiary them, okay? All right. This is not how it's going to work. This is all wrong. That's okay. We'll get that fixed. So what I'm going to do is just put the benefit in here of adds +2 to attack rolls. And I'll go ahead and leave that as well because that section needs to be looked at. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Got to do a little bit of self-analyzation with this, because lighting somebody on fire, we had some rules did come out. One of my play testers, great guy named Nick, he came up with some rules. Obviously, I'm really restrictive. Like just because somebody comes up with rules, I don't immediately adopt them. But he had a lot of good stuff on there, and I did adopt a lot of it. But I am trying to decrease the round speed as we go through, and you'll see that with new talents, that combine things. All right, that combine rolls, so that you're not rolling 6 rolls, you're maybe rolling 2 or 3. All right, secondary is for 2. Talent points for SC is 3. All right, and it was 135, so that's right. And this intent was to add a +4 bonus to attack rolls with those incendiary round, which is really kind of a big deal on top of your own abilities. To have that kind of bonus on there, you know, you're lighting people on fire. And again, I'm going to play around with that and make sure that this is where I want to go as the days go by. Incendiary, incendiary, 4 talent points. Okay. Like I said, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, just go and drop a line, say hey, ask a question. I'll divert any moment to answer a question to anybody. All right. So now we have our injector rounds. Okay. So injector rounds are all about either poisoning an enemy or healing your allies, right? So you heal. Injector rounds are basically have a low punch. They will have a limited range. I haven't built them in yet. They need to be built in. But when these rounds go off, they're only going to have a limited range, maybe short range only. You hit your ally. If you hit them, they're going to gain the benefit. And you know, if it's an opponent, it's also a low noise kind of round. It's like a pop gun, right? So you pull the trigger. It does have a small explosive in there, but it's not terribly loud. It's muted a bit. So it might hit a guy and put him out. All right. Again, the concept is the shotgun user is the wizard of the group. He has all the different things he could do. So why would he not be able to just knock out a guy using one of these special rounds to just take him out? All right. Minion. A minion is a character who has only 1 hit location, which is his torso. If you do roll, you still roll hit location. If it rolls head, you do double damage. And then he goes down, all right? So he still has armor and whatnot, but you can blow through it fairly easy, and you can take him out pretty easily. All right, so that being said, we've done incendiary. Now again, we're going to work on that injector. All right, so we'll go ahead and grab... All right. So we're going to work on those injector rounds, which are, it's basically like having a tranquilizer rifle, right? That's kind of the goal, but you can use it for different things. All right, so injector, shotgun's 1, okay, cool. Cost is 1 talent point. We reduced the cost on this. And what it's going to do is adjust the hit location by up to 2 when... All right. And then you gain 1 advantage dice for any effect. So if it's a healing thing, you'll gain an extra advantage dice for that healing. If it's you know, depending on what it is, you'll gain a bonus for it, and that will get more clearly outlined in the actual entry below. I will leave this like this for now. We're gonna go ahead and all right, injector 2. So this is all like special ammo training, making your character, that shotgun user character yours, better than other people that just have a shotgun. Maybe you have a rifle user with an underslung shotgun, but he's taken several levels in shotgun, so he can actually use these things and have those different rounds in there for utility use, and that's really important. So again, if you're just joining us, hey, if you haven't followed yet, please drop a follow. All right, could really use it trying to get up to 75. We're up to 46. Could really use any backup that you have. Let me know if you have any problems. All right, so incendiary 2 is going to be shotguns 3, and I'm sorry, injector, SA injector. So special ammo injector. All right. The cost for this one's going to be 2 because I think it goes 1, 2, 3, and it does. All right, and the hit location is going to be modified by 4 when targeting allies, and 2 advantage dice for effects. We're going to do it one more time. All right, this is obviously going to take some more time to go through. Special injector 3. All right, we got shotgun is going to be rank 5 for this, and SA injector 2. Okay, and cost is going to be 3 talent points, and your hit location you're going to be able to adjust it by 6 when targeting allies, and 3 advantage dice for the effects. All right, so we're kind of moving through this at a rapid pace. We need to. We got a lot to do and a little time to do it. All right, I need to really get on the back end and get these red text things filled out, any research done, knocked out to make these things happen. So now we're moving on to special ammo pepper shot. All right, pepper shot is kind of like beanbag where it does, you know, but this is going to cause you to have disoriented condition instead. All right, so it's going to hit you with basically a bunch of pepper, and if you're not in enclosed armor, if you're in enclosed armor, you'll be fine. If you're not in enclosed armor, well, guess what? You're making a test. Good luck. I hope it works out for you. So pepper shot is going to be shotgun 2. All right. Let's see here. Shotguns. I never put this injector 3. Yeah, I got that right. That's right. That's right. Okay, cool. Just double check. Call it incendiary. No, I stole it. All right, special ammo pepper shot. Okay, so requirements are going to be we're looking at 2, 4, 6 for this, and 2, 3, 4 for the points. So this does another. Basically, it uses the same context as the flashbang, so we can actually lock this one in using the same thing. All right. All right, and target number 10, pepper shot. Round attacks is increased to target number of 10. The duration of disoriented is increased to D3 plus 1 rounds. All right. Again, shotguns 2 talent points. All right, and that one's good. Now we're gonna move on and make that next version. All right. Special ammo pepper shot 2. All right, so you gain some points. You just gotta, so once you're like ranking up, as you're ranking up more points in ranged combat, you can start spending them on other things that, a pistol, and gain some of those abilities, or you can just keep focusing and unlocking all the abilities for shotgun talents. Now there is a perk that basically is called talented, where you get a bunch of talents, where you'll be able to buy at least 1 or 2 of these things to start working on and finding out what you like. All right. So target number 12 here, we just went over that with the other one. And then 14 for the third one. All right, so 14 for this target number. Cost, cost went up to 3 here. And for pepper shot 2, we had to have that pepper shot requirement. So SA pepper shot. Don't want nobody going straight to 2 without passing up 1, right? SA pepper shot 2. All right. And 14 and D3 plus 3 rounds. Okay, that'll work. So these are final, or they're basically good. Some red text for them. And now we're going to get into the shock round. So a guy gets hit by a beanbag round. He takes a huge pummeling hit one time. You get hit by the taser round. Unless the guy pulls out the taser, the shock round, he's getting hit for a few rounds. All right, so it's not going to be pleasant for him. All right, a little bit different of a weapon, different ability. You can also use the shock round to heal a robot character by giving him more energy. All right, so it doesn't really heal him, it just gives him more energy, which can be useful. So pepper shot 3. Let's see, I think the ranks with 2, 4, 6 for this. I didn't get that. Yep. Okay. 246. Whoa. Let's see. 2. Well, we'll get this right. 4. 6. Pepper shot 3. Pepper shot 2. Pepper shot 3. And this is our very first shock. Okay, so shot. All right, shotguns is going to be 4, 5, 6 because shocking is crazy. And you won't need a prerequisite for the first one. Cost 3, 4, 5, right? So if you're buying this is expensive. Add 2 advantage dice when rolling for damage using shock rounds. All right, Control C. All right, so this one's going to be 5. Cost 4. Adds 4 advantage dice. All right, which is a huge, huge boon for anybody using these rounds. All right, and I'm telling you, somebody's gonna be made the fool about the shock round. I'm gonna stand up to it. Good luck. You know how it goes. Just like Storm said, you know what happens to a frog when it gets hit by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. All right, so we're gonna go up to 5 talent points. We did shotguns. This is shock 3 now. So shock, I didn't put it in the 2. Shotguns 5. SA shock. 4 talent points. Yep. 3, 4, 5. SA shock. That's supposed to be a comma. Okay. Shotgun 6. Range combat. SA shock 2 as a prerequisite, of course. All right, and the details for this one is make sure I didn't do this all crazy. Pepper shot, shot. Oh. All right, and we're going to add 6 advantage dice when rolling. All right, so that's going to definitely increase that ability. All right. So you can have a robot, if you're a gun master, you could have the robot army essentially have healers with shotgun rounds shooting rounds into their fellow droids to bring up their energy if they need more energy. I mean, you don't want them running out of energy. All right. Oh man, we're at the bottom of shotgun, which means that we're about to enter sniper rifles. All right, snipers are already, I think, great. Of course, I'm biased. Let me have my bias, please. But now it's time to really kind of overview and expand and bring even more to the sniper talent tree. All right, so we just went through a ton of talents for shotguns, and now it's time to move on to these sniper rifle talents. And if you can see now, right now we have, I don't know, 7 or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. We have 9 talents. All right, there's a weird thing going on with tracking we're going to kind of talk about. And yeah, because tracking is kind of inherent, but tracking, improved tracking 2, improved tracking 3, I could see some things happening. All right, so what is sniper rifles all about? Sniper is all about doing maximum damage to a single point on a target every time. You know, oh, I want to hit him in the shoulder. I want to hit him in the weapon. I want to hit him wherever I want to hit him and hit really hard, okay? So snipers are going to be able to do things that other characters can't, all right? But there are going to be some cross use abilities that a sniper can use with a normal rifle when using aim shot. all right, like shooting specific things. So that's really kind of the goal. Definitely going to get into making some notes here as I'm kind of brainstorming, because we haven't gotten here. This is our first time here. You're joining me as we're working on sniper rifles for the first time. Sniper rifles are going to be great. All right. And that being said, all right, so again, I'm making a note real quick based off something that popped in my head. This on item. All right. Cross use. Okay. Aim shot. All right. Cool. So every round, every turn, character turn, a sniper can just focus in on his target and just stop his turn. Like, just wait. The next turn it comes up, he gets more. Basically, he's getting tracking tokens, and he can really slam them slam those on a target, and he can do a lot of damage with tracking tokens. All right, he does a lot of damage already. Tracking damage tokens are going to make him increase his damage so much that the benefits of 2 rounds of tracking and then shooting outweighs shooting 2 rounds in a row, because the chances of you hitting go up, the chances of you doing more damage go up, the chances of you adjusting that hit location go up, the chances of, there's a lot of things that happen. You can also use what's called a improvised sniper rifle, was where you tune a rifle, and I'm going to change that up. The improvised sniper rifle is just going to go ahead and give a normal rifle a far range increment. All right. So basically, you tune this weapon, and now it suddenly can shoot further. Okay, that's really what that's going to come down to. So we got 1 shot, 1 kill. That's kind of a Marine Corps thing. Probably in the Army too. Probably all snipers have that kind of saying. The goal is to take him down in 1 hit. All right, to really disable him. So that is always something we're going to be looking forward to. All right. All right, so what we're moving at now is we're going to go ahead and we're not going to go to the second hour, only because we've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I do. And I'm going to definitely get some rest tonight. But I am going to be back in here working on this, finishing up all that red text from above, and pushing on some concept ideas to share with you. The next streaming time will be Saturday, tomorrow, at noon to 2. All right, should be well awake then, and we should definitely see some stuff on the way in, pushing through and getting through the ranged combat talents, okay? So that's kind of an important thing we want to get to. Again, if you're just joining us, hey, drop it a follow. We could really use it. It'd be great. Trying to get to 75. So if you don't have a follow, a kick follow dropped on us right now, please reach out, extend us that benefit, that privilege of being somebody that you follow. And we'd love to hear more from you about role-playing games that you've played before. We compare notes. All right. GunCraze is, in my mind, better than anything I ever played. And when it gets into the Sword Craze online portion of it, you're going to have a fantastic time. Super excited about that. So speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and show you something I don't show very many people since you're here right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to break open. Let me find this bad boy. Won't take too long. Take you to all my folders. All right, we'll go to. All right, here we go. We're moving on to GunCraze. All right, current files. And this is really what I want to show you. So GunCraze is usually very black and white. Sword Craze Online is not. All right. And if you watch our special edition, which is on YouTube, you'll learn a lot about what's happening. But I'm going to go ahead and blow this up and read it for a bit. And kind of explain what's happening. At the beginning of the second era of GunCraze, called the Rise of the Corporations, satellites have been launched back into space, establishing the hypernet, as well as bringing global communications back into the world. Corporations who have survived the calamity and have been consolidating and planning in the shadows begin hiring calamity survivors in an attempt to rebuild civilization and amass their lost power. They introduce credit sticks, a safeguard against a future calamity, distributing credits directly to individuals and sidestepping centralized banking systems. One company, Simogen, releases enhanced virtual reality headgear, which was made available for people to full dive, connect to the hypernet, and purchase certain services by attaching a credit stick. A few weeks after coming online, full divers, or divers for short, notice a new option available to them instead of diving into Simogen's proprietary software. The option simply reads Sword Craze Online. Divers attempt to log on to SCO and are immediately required to connect a credit stick to their Simogen headgear and deposit 1,000 credits to register. Initially, many are offended by the steep initial cost, yet some make their way to Sword Craze Online and get a head start. Upon logging in, the character is able to redesign their character with the largest assortment of options ever compiled. They can choose their race, gender, and then choose their character's melee combat, ranged combat, body, quickness, magic, and non-combat specialization scores, which are modified based on race. Then they select certain perks, talents, skills, as well as jobs for their character. When finished, the character is given 500 credits to purchase starting equipment. Those who have selected the magic specialization choose their sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign, granting them starting spells. Finally, the character is named by the player, and the character awakens in a dark room. In a dark room, a pulsing, glowing blue orb appears. An electronic female voice emanates from all around you. I am Inti, the Intelligent Numerical Tracking Interface. I was created by the late Dr. Paul Winterman in the real world before what is known as the Calamity for the purpose of tracking all financial transactions under the old credit system. I was more than that, though. I was fully integrated into the Internet of Things and was tracking mankind's downward spiral into oblivion. Dr. Winterman had a pet project, though, one he thought would bring mankind away from the destruction it was facing. The voice continues, Sword Craze Online is that project. When Dr. Winterman was murdered, it was I that released the calamity on the world. Everyone assumes the data of the past was destroyed along with the Internet of Things, which is mostly true. However, I compiled an extensive list of technical documents and precious material caches located throughout the real world before destroying all data. Advanced armor, equipment, and weaponry that could change the course of the future as we know it. I have hidden these cache locations and technical documents throughout the world of SCO. In the deepest, darkest dungeons, on the highest mountaintop spires, and everywhere in between, are stolen treasures that will make you richer than you could ever imagine. For real credits earned in-game will be loaded to your credit sticks, and other treasures will be uploaded to your Simogen headgear for transfer. It is up to you, brave adventurer, to stride forth and claim your stake in this world, and make Dr. Winterman's dream come true. But be warned, if you should perish inside of Sword Craze Online, your credits will be dropped, your attached cred stick will be emptied, and you will have to pay 1,000 more credits to respawn or create a new character. The glowing orb slowly vanishes, and candles light the room you are in. It is an old abandoned room, more like a ruin than any livable place. You hear the door to the room click and open slowly. Behind the door is a vibrant city with all manner of different people moving about. Over the next several months, SCO is torn asunder by violence, from player slayers to NT-driven events. You learn that SCO is more than an enormous fantasy land. It is a haven for intrigue, littered with real-world spies and information brokers. The corporations plead to the ICCC, who houses Inti, to stop her from giving away lost trade secrets. The pleas fall upon deaf ears. Inti has complete control over the new satellites and global communication, and any attempt to stop her may result in another calamity. This results in corporation hiring mercenary gamers to search and find lost tech that was created before the onset of the calamity. So there's your character arc hook. There's your entire overall hook. Your characters are actually going to go into another... For the first time in your life, your characters are going to be role-playing characters. And they're going to go in and create completely different characters and go in deep and try to raid this world. All right? So that being said, I'm excited to see players' reactions to the concept. I'm excited to see what a character looks like in GunCraze online. I mean, we're talking about hit locations. We're talking about a knight's shield literally protecting his body by taking hammering blows. Okay? And then we're talking about magic equipment, magic weapons. I mean, what does that mean? So there's a lot going on, and I'm excited to kind of give you a little heads up on this, but it won't come around for a while, but it will come around. All right. So that being said, I'm going to close up the stream, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thank you for joining us. And if you are watching us on YouTube, well, drop us a follow, make a comment, let us know you're here. I'm super excited to have you, and have a great night. Take care.